Are you thinking about purchasing the Bora Centipede portable workbench? I bought mine well over a year ago, and there were two main reasons why. I'll share my experiences in that regard, as well as a major issue that I've had this entire time. I do not have a dedicated workspace in our home, so portability was a huge driving factor for me when I purchased my Centipede. Over the last year plus, I have set up and taken down my Centipede countless times. I've used it on many different projects in many different locations, and it has really delivered on its portability promise. Now, I purchased the 4x6 Centipede, and in its bag, it is very easy to move around. The carry handle makes it super easy to pick up and take wherever you need it to be. And the setup and teardown really doesn't take any time to do. But when I'm done with it, and this was another big factor for me, it's very easy to store. My second driving factor in making this decision was durability. Since I moved this workbench all over the place, I needed to make sure it was going to be able to handle the constant setup and teardown. Additionally, I've knocked this thing over and dropped it, unfortunately, more times than I care to remember. It has not been phased one bit. I do most of my work in the driveway. If you take a look at the feet on the Centipede, there's some minor wear and tear here, but that's over a year's worth of use in the driveway, in the garage, in the backyard. That is not bad. I've even tripped over the inside supports on this thing. I don't recommend walking inside of the Centipede, by the way. My point though is I have used this for so many projects, whether I'm spray painting, setting it up as a pocket hole drilling station, cutting wood on it, you name it, I've used it in all of these different scenarios without issue. But that leads to one exception, and it's the tabletop. I considered purchasing the Bora Centipede tabletop with my Centipede when I first bought it, but to save some money, I decided not to pull the trigger. Instead, I cut plywood to fit the top of my 4x6 Centipede. Over time, this has worked well. There have been too many scenarios where I've hit one of the supports with my knee and it has pushed the strut and the P-top outside the edge of my plywood. Now, I've tried clamping my plywood down and this certainly helps, but it still hasn't been a solid fit on the top of the workbench. With that said, I reached out to Bora Tools to see if they'd be willing to send me some of the tabletops to try, and they were kind enough to send me some to do so. These tabletops are purpose-built exactly for the Centipede, and they fit super well. When I put the tabletop on, it hooks down nice and tight, straight to the tops of the P-tops, and the entire table is solid. I really truly wish that I had purchased this over a year ago. And if you're thinking about making that same purchase yourself, but you want to know a little bit more about the tabletops, click or tap on this video. And until the next time, keep doing it yourself.